Welcome in, everybody, to the Boulevard Home Game of the Week here on the Fan Sports Network. Thank you for joining us, streaming live here on the fansportsnetwork.com. The matchup tonight here at the Pit, it's the Pineview Panthers and the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. It's Caden Formaster here and Ben Lindquist. Ben, it's time for a rematch between these two teams tonight.
Can't wait, Caden. It should be a good game. Pineview's been playing really good as of late. And Crimson, of course, they've got to finish out this last week of basketball this week, and then they have a bye, and then they finish off with Dixie at home. Of course, Dixie just coming off an overtime loss with Snow Canyon, so not statistically out of it. And then we always talk about it this time of the year. I think we're going to be seeing them pretty soon. The RPIs, are they out yet? Did they come out today, or they come out? I think they come out soon. So, you got these two games that could mean a lot for both of these teams when it comes to the end of the year and seeding for the state tournament. So it should be a great game. Pineview's always got a great atmosphere. Back 20 years ago, they used to call it the Pit. I don't know, do we still call it that? It's not on the floor.
They have it over here in the bottom edge. They call it the Pit. So it's still around.
All right, so we got the Pit. I think this is the best, technically the best gym in the region in terms of the fans kind of being on top of you. You got the glass behind. It just feels like you're right on top of the court.
Is there a little biasy there, Ben?
Maybe a little bit. Might have been from class of '97.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I looked up. This is how much I was so sensitive about rims and nets. These rims right above us here on the, I guess this would be the south side of the arena, those are the rims that were on the baskets when I played.
Oh, really? They just transferred them over to the side hoops, huh?
20 some odd years now.
Yeah,
Jeez,
well, they've upgraded. They've upgraded since then, huh? Yeah, this should be a really fun one. Like you mentioned, the atmosphere here is really fun because it is a little bit tighter quarters, right? Maybe not as tight as Dixie. Dixie's pretty tight quarters over there, but you do get this stacked feeling where they have almost the two tiers going on here at the Pit. It's a lot of fun. It's a really fun atmosphere, and we appreciate you joining us tonight for the Boulevard Home Game of the Week. Lots of games going on across Region 10 tonight as well. Of course, this one, Crimson and Pineview as well. If you go on over to the fansportsnetwork.com, you can watch all of the Region 10 games going on tonight. That includes the Dixie Flyers over at the Thunderdome taking on Desert Hills Thunder. And then Snow Canyon Warriors went on the road to the Tigers Den, take on Hurricane Tigers. So all of those games broadcasting live tonight on the fansportsnetwork.com. Catch your favorites. We'll be here with you all night, and we'll be bringing you our Nets on Fire scoring updates from those games as well as the night progresses. So with that said, Ben, again, we are only 1 week out from hitting state.
You believe that?
It's crazy. So this game, and then Wednesday and Friday of next week, we're going to be wrapping up region play, and it's going to be time for the playoffs.
Yeah, and a lot of exciting things happening. And again, I talked about Crimson and them trying to finish the season strong. Pineview has gained a little bit of momentum. They've won a couple more games since we last did this Crimson-Pineview matchup. And so this is a really important game. I mean, Pineview, they always play hard. They always play, and they play good at home. They had Snow Canyon. I think they had Snow Canyon down at home here. I think they were in the game with Dixie. And so I expect this to be a bit of a dogfight tonight.
Yeah. The Panthers at halftime against Snow Canyon were leading. And they've kind of been in this situation multiple times with many different teams where they are close at halftime, maybe even leading at halftime. And one of the things that we always talk about in our keys to the game, and I don't know if it's the case with this current Panther team, but for a while it was always play a full 4 quarters. Lately, they've been kind of pulling that off. They've been able to do that. I mean, for a 4-win team, 3 of those have been in region. And that is really impressive considering how talented this region has been.
Yeah, this is a great year for Region 10. And of course, we know it'll transfer to Region 9, back to Region 9, which makes more sense for me when we talk about going back 25 years. Ooh, 27 years, 26 years. Jeez, Caden.
Has it been that long?
Tell you what. But you know what? This is such a competitive region. Pineview, like we talk about how hard they play. When you start thinking about, okay, what are they going to need to pull off tonight to win this game? We've got, Griffin Shepard. We've got Nash, who's was just two great scorers. It's kind of the story and the theme for the entire region, which is where's that second or third guy going to come from for both teams? We talk about it all season with Crimson. We talk about it with Snow Canyon. Obviously you have the Cy Meacham and you've got the Owen Mackey, but for these types of teams, it's who's going to be that third guy. And I think this game might come down to that. Is Pineview going to have a third guy step up? Is Crimson going to have a third guy step up?
Yeah, lots of that we need to get into. Let's take a 2-minute break. When we come back, hopping into the Findlay Subaru Keys to the Game in the Findlay Subaru pregame show. So 2-minute break. When we return, we will be back with those Keys to the Game here on the Fan Sports Network.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Well, the band's rocking at the pit tonight. Pineview Panthers, Crimson Cliffs, Mustangs, as we welcome you into the Findlay Subaru pregame show for tonight's matchup. Ben, give us the keys to the game tonight.
Well, I don't want to sound like a broken record for Crimson, but it's going to be 3 things. It's going to be limiting turnovers, especially against a scrappy and hardworking Panther team. It's going to be who is that second or third guy outside of Jordan Eaton. Jordan Eaton kind of just took over in that last game. In fact, I was with his dad, Richard, who I actually played with at Pineview, and we talk about going back in time. And he talked about how JJ, his sophomore little brother, and Jordan got on the court at the same time. Jordan had, of course, I think he had 27. JJ had 1 free throw, and Jordan's dad joked with me, my 2 sons had half the points in the game. I think maybe a little more Jordan and a little less JJ in that one, but that story is going to be, okay, who is the second or third guy? Is it going to be a Houston Johnson? Is it going to be a Phoenix McWillis? Is it going to be Scoop? Or is it going to be Steele Barbin? Or is it going to be Sean Phelps, as we've seen off the bench? And then you talk about it's important for them to be able to get inside the paint and rebound. They're not a great 3-point shooting team. I think they know that. They don't take as many threes as a Snow Canyon or a Dixie. And then it's going to come down to, can you withstand the home court? Can you withstand the band and the student section and make sure that if you do get down early that you weather the storm? And if you're Pineview, I think when you talk about this team, it's kind of the same story as it is for a lot of the teams in the region. Who is the second or third guy going to be? You need Nash. You need Griffin to come out and probably have 16 to 18 each. We talked about that last time. They've got to be close to that 20 mark for those two. They just don't score enough points. And so who's going to be the third guy for the Panthers? And then I think for them is, can they get Crimson out of their comfort zone with some kind of, is it a 1-3-1? Are pressing? And then lastly, it's can they win the 50-50 balls? Can they hustle and do the little things so that they can keep this game close and give themselves a chance in the second half?
So last time these two teams matched up, we talked about who's that second or third guy for the Mustangs, and they got the win there. It was Houston Johnson. He finished with 16 points.
One of his best games of the season.
One of his best games. He ended up being our Hearst Ace Hardware player of the game that game as well. And a large part of that was due to the fact he knew he had a size advantage. He just backed in there on offense. He posted up and did what you want your post to do, right? Just back your way in there, put the ball on the ground, and when you're ready, you just turn and shoot. And he was fantastic at that in the last matchup. I expect to see a little bit more of that because it was working last time. I wouldn't be surprised to see them start to go towards that again.
Yeah, that game, as I recall, it was just, you could tell somebody or the players were like, look, we are going inside. We have the advantage. And so I think you got to go back to that, especially on the road, especially in a hostile environment. You have to go get the easy buckets. Don't come out here and force threes. Don't get caught up in the environment. Make sure that you execute, get the ball inside. And if you're Crimson, you got to make sure this is one, if you can get up 8-10, you can't let Pineview hang around because they're just scrappy enough and they play hard enough that you don't want them to linger because they could jump up and get you.
Especially if Canyon Dickinson gets going, along with, of course, Nash Schroeder, Griffin Shepard. They can be really a scoring trio at times. Now, recently we've kind of seen an emergence of Tim Long. Weston Watkins had his moments as well, and then a few different guys coming off the bench, and Adam Moore and Devin Williams. So a few of those different names as well that can at times get going. We'll see if we can find more from those different Pineview Panthers as well. If they get going, they do have a little bit of depth. It's young depth. Sometimes it's raw depth, but they have their moments.
Yeah, and I think that's what Coach Eves has kind of dealt with all season, is trying to figure out, okay, I know I'm going to get scoring out of those two. Who is my third guy going to be? And when you're a young team, when you're an undersized team, it could be different every game, and that's hard for a coach, and it's hard for a team to make the adjustments.
Well, we appreciate you hopping in with us for our Findlay Subaru pregame show here. When we return after the national anthem break, we will be presented with the House of Jump starting lineup. So stick around with us here on our Boulevard Home Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Utah is growing, and we're growing too. What started on the U of U campus has grown to over 110,000 members with 20 locations, and we're ready to meet even more of you. More than a campus or a branch, we are Utah's teachers, businesses, and families. For over 65 years, we've been part of your community, and while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. University Credit Union is now You First Credit Union. See why it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First.
Hearst Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend. Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Beautiful national anthem there from the Pineview Band as we get things started from the pit here at Pineview High School. Crimson Cliffs and Pineview ready to face off here tonight. Appreciate you for joining us for the Findlay Subaru pregame show as we hop on in to the starting lineups presented to you by House of Jump. Now, Ben, we are looking for a dunk tonight, and if a dunk happens, our viewers are going to get 1 hour free jump time at House of Jump.
Yeah, what a great partner House of Jump has been. And in Region 10, you're going to see some dunks this year, and we've certainly seen our fair share, including a backdoor lob reverse dunk by Owen Mackey last Wednesday.
Yeah, what a crazy dunk that one was.
And in the JV game, I like our chances tonight, Caden, because in the JV game, Big Sean had a couple of thunderous dunks. And the young guy, freshman, Jaylani, had a two-hand throw down as well. So I like our odds tonight. My bet, if you had to say, Ben, look, you got to put some money on it. Who's it going to be? I'm going to say it's going to be the big fella, Sean Phelps.
I'll hold you to it. So the starting lineups for Crimson Cliffs, as you saw them earlier, we have number 2, Scoop Johnson, number 10, Jordan Eaton, number 11, Phoenix McWillis, number 13, Still Barbin, and number 31, Houston Johnson. Now, one of the big topics of conversation that we've had this season, and we had it on our show yesterday, actually, we were talking about the starting lineups and how good Region 10 has gotten at the theatrics of it all. And Pineview getting into it with the lights and everything. It's so much fun over here at the pit. Pineview's starting lineup for tonight: number 4, Canyon Dickinson, number 5, Tim Long, number 10, Weston Watkins, number 13, Nash Schroeder, and number 20, Griffin Shepard. Your starting lineup tonight for the Pineview Panthers.
A solid lineup. This is going to be one of those matchups that I think you look for either team to try and impose their will and the physicality of this game. They may be undersized in the Panthers, but they won't be outworked when it comes to the heart, that's for sure.
Tip-off today brought to you by UD & Associates, your local American family insurance agency in St. George. Jumping for Crimson in the red, Pineview in the whites. Pineview's got Tim Long and Houston Johnson for Crimson Cliffs Mustangs.
And here we go, Caden. Jump is up.
Tim Long, he might be about 4 inches shorter than Houston Johnson, but he gets it.
Yeah. I think that's probably the hardest job the official has. I wonder if they do paper, rock, scissors before the game to say, like, okay, who's going to throw?
Big block by Houston Johnson to get things started on Tim Long.
Explosive block.
Going the other way with it, it's the Mustangs. McWillis on the jumper, no good. It's rebounded by Watkins, taking it the other way. Barbin tips it away into the hands of Eaton, and another steal from Nash Schroeder. Dickinson back up top with it, swinging it around the horn and throwing it as Griffin Shepard tried to crash towards the basket and thrown out of bounds.
And this is sort of what we've talked about with the turnovers. It's just, you got to take care of the ball. It's so hard, and especially on the road, to settle in and just make sure you take care of it. But now Pineview and Crimson had a couple quick and reckless ones.
Up top with it is McWillis trying to get it down low to Johnson. Johnson Beautiful move down low, gets it in for 2.
And that's really what they're going to have to do. They've got the advantage all the way to the bench with Sean Feltz. Get the ball in the paint, maybe do a couple block-to-block screens and a little high-low action like they had right there.
Going up top with it, Schroeder swinging it around. Dickinson. Back to the other side with Schroeder. Schroeder drives. Goes up with it, off the glass. Catches the rim and in. Nash Schroeder.
He's a great scorer, and you can always tell a great scorer because they can go with both hands and finish with either hand, stop, pop, whether they're going to the left or the right.
Jordan Eaton kicks over to Scoop. Back up top, resetting. Reminder, no shot clock here tonight. One of the few gyms in Region 10 that does not have it. Corner 3, no good by Scoop Johnson. Rebounded by the Panthers.
Yeah, Snow Canyon doesn't have it. Desert Hills does. Is it just these two? Cedar had it. Yeah.
I think it might just be those ones.
And they call another travel here. This one on Nash. And that's the hardest thing. I love that they're starting to call it more in the NBA because I think they've really robbed these younger players of the fundamentals and footwork of great basketball. And so I love the idea that they're calling more travels. I think that's good for the game. I just think in the long run it helps the fundamentals, and for these kids they need that.
Missed 3 by Mick Willis, rebounded by Schroeder. Dickinson with the ball up top, swings it across. Schroeder looking for a pick from Shepard. Picked up by Eaton. Gets it down low to Shepard, and it's tipped out of bounds by Scoop Johnson. It'll remain Pineview ball.
And a little bit of a sleepy start to this one, Caden, as we've got 5:33 left. It's 2-2. Look for a shot in the corner here, or a duck in. Great ball there.
Step back. Little fadeaway there by Griffin Shepard on the move.
Oh.
Still Barban going up strong with it.
I don't think we can quite give that a dunk, but I think he tried. I think he grabbed the rim, Caden.
We might be able to give it to him. We'll hold on to it for later in case we need it. How's that sound?
Yeah, that power layup. We'll give him a good power
layup. I like the sound of that. Up top with it is Dickinson. Finds lane, drives in, kicks out. Shepard corner 3, drops it in. It's our first First Credit Union 3-pointer, and it's Griffin Shepard.
Great shot. We talked about how explosive he and Nash are, and they're proving it early with a couple of early buckets. They each have a bucket for 5 of the Pineview points.
Nick Willis up top, trying to thread it down low to Johnson. It's tipped away. On the fast break, Griffin Shepard goes up and under, off the glass too hard. Rebounded by Houston. Johnson bringing it quickly the other way. Jordan Eaton pulls the 3 on the other end. And we have another First Credit Union 3-pointer. Tying it up with, the 7 on the other end. Yeah.
And a great shot, great job in transitions. We see Scoop Johnson here, which should be an easy left-handed layup.
And extends the lead even more.
And this is one where you can see how frustrated Coach Eves is saying, guys, come on, let's take care of the basketball. Great start. If you're Crimson so far, you like what you see. If you're Coach Eves, you're not out of this thing by any measure, and you just want to see some solid play from your team after some bad turnovers.
Long goes up strong and gets 2.
Great, impressed with him so far. That's a great low post move. We talk about the undersized, but now look, he's got some bounce in him tonight.
You know, he's one of these guys that has come in with a lot more confidence in the second half of region play, and that confidence has really paid off. You know, he went from not really getting on the board at all to now he's scoring a few points a game, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, look, this is a little quiet for the games that we've had. I don't know if it's just the crowd's waiting for something big to happen or what, but I'm a little surprised so far that the crowd's not a little more into it. She's where I love to see a basket cut. Finally, Jordan basket cuts, but it's a little bit of a lost art. Guy penetrates, kicks, got a basket cut.
Straightaway 3, Jordan Eaton. It's tipped around and no good. And a loose ball foul.
We see how hard it is to keep Crimson off the glass. That's been their strength all season, along with their tough team defense.
9-7, 3:15 left on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Taylor getting it down low to Johnson. Johnson backs up long, spins on him, goes off the glass, light touch, fouled.
And he's jumped out. This is similar to what we saw the last time these teams matched up. And you know what's funny, Caden, is you can probably appreciate this with your basketball experience and knowledge as well, is like some guys just like, we see this in the league a lot, some guys just like the certain teams. They like to play, and it works vice versa. Some guys don't have good games in certain gyms or against certain teams, but apparently Houston likes playing against Pineview.
There was a while there, if we remember right, LeBron couldn't win in Utah, right? That was a whole thing where there was a good stretch LeBron did not win in Utah. You talk about that as an example, right? Houston Johnson is one of those where he just plays well against Pineview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into the corner, driving is Griffin Shepard. Late whistle is...
And that's a creative move by an offensive player, and a little bit, you're just so that big, you just have to go up. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to come down. Just keep your hands up. Let him try and score over you.
Sean Feltz is the one that picks up that foul. Griffin Shepard making the first end of our Fabulous Freddy's free throws. Fabulous Freddy's, 2 locations here in southern Utah. And if you download that Fabulous Freddy's app and show them that you downloaded the app, you can get yourself a free car wash.
Well, they say don't get caught riding dirty, and they do a great job with their car washes there.
It's a 2-point differential here, 11-9. Loose ball on the ground. Jordan Eaton picks it up in a timeout to Crimson.
And that's what we talked about with that press. They can be so disruptive with that.
So with that timeout, we'll keep it right here through this one. And want to thank our timeout sponsor, Cache Valley Bank, sponsoring our timeouts this season. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Now again, 11-9 here, a close one. This is kind of what we have been hoping for. So we got 2:48 left here in the first quarter, and both of these teams playing a little scrappy, and I kind of like it. You know, they're diving after the ball on the ground. You like to see it.
Well, we've got a former Pineview High School football player. I don't know what basketball experience he has. Skylar Entz just made a cameo in the broadcast studio. Of course, his father, an icon here at Pineview High School from the football standpoint, Coach Rick.
Getting the ball down low. Taylor going up strong with it off the glass and in.
That's a great seal. We haven't seen a lot of that where they're able to get all of the offensive players up and lob it over the top.
Devin Williams off the bench. And Camden Smith as well. Schroeder now straight away. Picked up by Johnson. Swinging it around. Driving baseline open lane. Blocked by Sean Feltz.
I mean, I don't know what to say. That's where you come to a jump stop, shot fake the big fella. You know he wants to block shots. As we see Adam Moore, number 24, a sophomore, who always has a bunch of pep and bounce in his step. And certainly, I think he was one of the lone bench scorers as Pineview struggled to score against Crimson in that win for Crimson at home.
Straightaway is Nash Schroeder. Swings it to Shepard, pulls the 3. No good, rebounded by Feltz. Going the other way with it. Barbin into the corner to Taylor. Feltz, 16-footer, no good. Rebounded by Shepard. 1:48 left to go here.
Not a bad shot. I think that's just one of those things where you don't have a shot clock, Caden, that you've just come in, maybe get a couple more rotations, get a better shot. Right here, he's got to be careful. He just doesn't need to jump.
Gets his own rebound, goes up strong again. Still not there, and Taylor gets the rebound going the other way with it. Good cut by Jordan Eaton, but he's kind of just skied right across that court, picks up the travel.
Well, and if they wouldn't have called the travel, we had a really good line just right up the baseline. We're in the far right corner. If they didn't call the travel, they would have called the out of bounds. But I like the pass. I like how they're getting the ball up the floor in transition. I think as a coach, you live with that one because you got two guys that were trying to make the right play.
Driving baseline, Schroeder goes up strong, gets Eaton, and Eaton gets the block. We have way too many contenders right now for our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game with 3 different blocks from 3 different Mustangs.
Well, and then you'll get the physicality and the pressing of Pineview. So I think we're going to have our choice tonight, Caden.
Inbounding baseline is Canyon Dickinson. Gets it up top to Schroeder. Schroeder is picked up by Johnson. Takes the dribble, hands off into the hands of Shepard. Pulls the deep 3. It's swish. Griffin Shepard with 8 points in this first quarter.
And he's a great shooter. He's on his home floor. And what'll be interesting to watch tonight is, if this is a 1-point ball game, what impact will the shot clock have, Caden? That's the one I'm going to be watching because, we see it at Snow Canyon against Dixie on Wednesday night. They really had a chance to slow that game down, and Pineview will have a similar opportunity here, as I think Crimson would like to play faster.
Up top with it, Eaton drives in. It's kicked out to Scoop. 19 on the clock. Scoop Johnson. Goes over to Taylor. Taylor down low, kicks out. Johnson thought about the 3, steps in, mid-range, no good. It's tipped. Rebounded, and then a quick foul. Jay Sweeten will pick that one up with 2.6 left to go in the first quarter.
I think I like the first shot there. I think, but I like the execution here. This is something that Crimson struggled with a little bit all season, is kind of clock, time, and score. But I like how they get it down with 2 seconds here. There's going to be a bad shot. They're going to get this thing right back under their basket.
At the baseline.
Look for a play they ran against, I think it was Hurricane on Wednesday, where they lob it to Big Sean Feltz for the dunk. And I think Trevor threw it, but with Scoop on the floor, he'll throw it. They're going to try and throw a little lob here.
And quick inbounds. Sean Feltz goes up with it quickly and gets fouled. He'll head to the line.
Yep, that's just great. I love how they came right down, calmly identify the biggest guy on the floor, throw it up high where he can get it. Sean actually does a really good job of keeping the ball high, and a little bit of lack of discipline there on Pineview. Is all they had to do was just get a hand up.
Now that's 2 fouls as well on Long. Sean Feltz gets the first one to drop in. With those 2 fouls, again, he's the one that's playing really well down low, especially up against Houston Johnson, who kind of had his way the last matchup. So keeping Long in the game is going to be really important here for Pineview. But he does hit the bench here with a little bit of foul trouble in the first quarter. Feltz gets the second one to go from the Fabulous Freddy free throw line there. It's 15-12. The heave is no good as we reach the end of the first quarter. Again, on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, 15-12. We will take a 45-second break, and we'll be back with more on the Fan Sports Network.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Welcome back as we wrapped up the first quarter of play here, heading on into the second. This transition to the quarter is brought to you by Jason Baum with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad. Go find Jason Baum at baumloans.com. That's BAUM loans.com.
And I'll tell you what, Jason's a huge wrestling guy. In fact, he comes on the fan from the bleachers and gives some great insights. A lot of exciting stuff happening. I think is it state or region?
We've got region going on. Yep, region right now. And then we'll be heading into state here shortly. So, well, possession
might be able to
Crimson.
Might be able to get with some of the Nets on Fire updates on wrestling from our own Matt Hamlin.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at that. I know that he's been streaming those as well. So
that's on the Fan Sports Network as well. Do we have a link for that?
We're going to for the matchups tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yep. So make sure to check those out. Inbound to Houston Johnson. It's tipped. Johnson diving on the ground, gets his rebound, hands off to Sweeten, and now Mick Willis will take control. Mick Willis puts the ball on the ground, goes strong. Sweeten goes up with it, and it's an offensive foul.
I've said it all season, the most difficult call for an official is the block charge call. On that one, Caden, I'm curious what you think, because we had a really good angle at it. I almost think he wasn't able to come down with it, which you're supposed to allow the offensive player to do.
Yeah, he kept the ball high. Not sure if he got fully set with it before he just had to toss the ball towards the rim. He knew the contact was coming. He put it up. Canyon Dickinson puts up a 3 as well. So I would say that I could see it go either way. I probably would have just said that it was. I probably would have went with the block personally, but I understand why he went with the charge.
Yeah, like I said, a really hard call, but that one is you have to allow the guy to come down with it. Glad we're up here and not down there officiating, because there's no love for the officials.
Speaking of which, we actually had that specific official on our show yesterday to talk about officiating and the relationship between the officials, the players, and the fans. And we posted it as a podcast. If you want to catch that, head on over to thefansportsnetwork.com. You can listen to that conversation. Yeah. And it was really good.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed
really
that topic
interesting
conversation.
Story, because when you think about it, he was a parent in the stands, and of course, he was the guy up there yelling at the officials and saying, "Come on, ref." And then finally decided, well, maybe I ought to go see how hard or easy it really is.
Taylor, and now this time it is a blocking call as Houston Johnson tried to Euro step. And again, one of those situations where since he intended to get out of the way, they call the block.
And a great job by Houston right there to kind of sidestep that one. But, put the pressure back on the official. Difficult call to make.
Gets the first one to drop. It is 16-12. That's our first points of the second quarter.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a struggle at this rate getting to our Holbrook Asphalt big score, 55 points. But something tells me that Desert Hills. Is it Desert Hills Dixie tonight, or is it Desert Hills Snow Canyon?
Desert Hills Dixie's tonight.
Okay.
Yep.
Boy, that would be interesting. Desert Hills has been playing really well. Of course, we might be able to get a Nets on Fire update here in just a moment on that.
Now that one did get started a little later. The freshman game, the first game of the day, went into double overtime. So
they're going to get a late start.
So they got a late start at Dixie Desert Hills. Schroeder went to go up with it, and Jordan Eaton scrapes the arm. So he'll pick up the foul, and Schroeder is going to head to the line.
And I think so far, Coach Eves has got to be thrilled. He's going to have 2 free throws here to get this to a 3-point game at home. They're certainly playing. It's interesting, because I would say Crimson is really getting up and down the floor, but Pineview is also doing kind of what they want to do, and they're making their threes. They're getting to the foul line. And so I think so far it's more filling each other out as opposed to someone getting any haymakers in.
Full court pressure from the Panthers. Jordan Eaton crossing the line to Houston Johnson. Johnson picked up by Griffin Shepard. Looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Eaton.
I love the basket cut.
Good drive.
Go.
And a foul is called. Goes against Devin Williams.
Phoenix has been really aggressive tonight. Love that he's trying to get inside, recognizing that he has the height advantage and maybe the footwork advantage as well. Definitely like what you see if you're Crimson from that standpoint. Haven't seen Phoenix much in this first half.
Yeah, he's put up a few shots that just have knocked on his way. Houston Johnson on the second, and just catching the front of the rim on the second of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws, and Schroeder going quickly the other direction. 6 minutes left to play in the first half. 17-14 on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. Into the corner, it's Nash Schroeder. Schroeder goes in on Johnson. Tries to kick out, but it's stolen away. It's Drake Carroll.
Drake's been solid defensively off the bench. And we saw in a couple of games where he actually finished out, in one game in particular, where he actually finished out the fourth.
Driving baseline, McWillis takes a step back, pulls a shot, no good. Tipped around, finally brought in, but a loose ball foul is going to go against Phoenix McWillis. It'll pick up his first.
Difficult shot, I think, again, where you don't have a shot clock, and it is kind of strange, because some of these teams still don't due to shipping and manufacturing issues. But you'd like to see where you don't have a shot clock in a game that's already tight, a little more discipline, a little more patience to just make sure, Phoenix is such a great athlete. I think there's times he could wait for something to open up and create,
Yeah, missed attempt by Nash Schroeder. Driving baseline is Jordan Eaton. Scooping up and under is no good. And rebounded by Schroeder.
And that's another example. You just those are tough shots. And Jordan makes tough shots, so you can kind of excuse that. But in a game like this, you have to be careful. You've got to get quality possessions. And one of the things we haven't really talked about now with the foul called here, that's going to put the Panthers one foul away from the bonus, Caden. And I talk about this a lot. Actually, that was the scorekeeper was a little late on that one. That is the 7th foul. So with just under 5 minutes, now you are in the bonus. So this will be interesting. If I'm Coach Fairborn, I'm over here saying, guys, look up at the clock. Be aggressive. Don't settle. Go to the hoop. Jump stop. Shot fake. Try and get to the line because we now have 5 minutes of bonus.
Missing the first end of the 1-1, but offensive rebound by Jordan Eaton on the putback.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's what they do, and I think they're probably the best team in the region at offensive rebounding.
Timeout taken by the Pineview Panthers.
And Coach Eves is not happy. He is over there giving the official a little bit of an earful. I think he felt like Jordan ducked in and maybe got a foul there. And in a now 5-point game, every bucket is crucial.
We'll take a break ourselves, 30 seconds when we return here on the Fan Sports Network.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
A Jersey Mike's ad right there reminding us to look for our Jersey Mike's sub of the game. Got a few different guys coming off the bench already, including inbound right there, Devin Williams for the Panthers. Now Schroeder to get things started for the Panthers. Coming out of the timeout. Shepard, little space, gets the shot off, no good, but a foul.
Well, and just like that, the Crimson Mustangs are one foul away from the bonus. And so it looks like we'll have an extended first half and potentially some free throws going up here.
So that's Houston Johnson on the foul there. And inbounding is Dickinson, gets it in. Schroeder, straight away three, it's good. U First Credit Union, three-pointer, Nash Schroeder.
And kids watching at home, that's one of the things we know. Nash is a great three-point shooter.
Stolen away.
Got to trail on those types of plays with a shooter like that.
Schroeder went to hand off to Dickinson. Dickinson, a little bit of a ninja there and moved right behind him without him seeing it.
He's asking Dickinson to back cut. He's like, you had the back cut. And I think he was right.
He's right.
But you know what? Again, I think as a coach, you can take those when a guy's looking for his teammate. It's when they're trying to force stuff that you get a little frustrated. But he's looking for his teammate and just a miscommunication.
Scoop goes up top to McWillis, swinging it around. Houston Johnson up top, still Barbin. Barbin step inside, pump fake. And a travel. Jordan Eaton's second travel.
And you don't see him travel a lot. I think Coach Fairborn's down there kind of motioning to say, hey, just, look, keep getting that side-to-side action. We don't have a shot clock. Be patient.
Dickinson gets it off to Williams. Williams up top, swinging it around. It's Dickinson in the corner. He drives baseline. And tipped away, stolen, but bouncing it out of bounds, Scoop Johnson.
And Scoop's got great hands defensively. Phoenix is another guy that's just so rangy and athletic. Great instincts. It's one of the reasons that Crimson is so good team defensively.
Taking the inbound is Schroeder. He goes up with it and gets it to drop.
And he's having a great game already tonight, Caden.
Yeah, 9 points.
9 of their 19, and we've got a tie ball game with just over 3 minutes left. Got to believe Crimson's got to get back to getting stuff in the paint here, being disciplined as Pineview's gone to a little bit of a matchup zone here. No, they're still in their man. Boy, it looked like a zone.
Missed shot by Johnson. He gets his own rebound. It's tipped and brought in by Feltz, who goes up strong with it.
And I really would argue, I haven't seen the exact stats, but I would argue that Crimson is by far the best offensive rebounding team in the region.
Moore swings it into the corner. Back up top is Schroeder. Schroeder drives, finds the lane, kicks out. Now it's Dickinson who drives in, finds the lane, scoops it off the glass and in.
And this is part of the problem sometimes when you have a defensive strategy of pushing to the baseline, is that it gets away from just keeping a guy in front of you. As you can see, all you got to do is really jab step.
Stolen by Schroeder. He's going to take it all the way to the rim and in. Schroeder with 9 in this quarter, 11 in this first half with just under 2 minutes to play now.
And it was one of our keys to the game, right, Caden? Is can he and Griffin Shepard get that 16 to 18 mark as we have another turnover.
Another still. He pulls the 3. No good. Rebounded by Moore. Moore goes up strong and no good. And Mick Willis will bring it down.
Oh, no.
Mick Willis goes up strong, and they're going to call a block. Dickinson, if he would have just stayed up straight and taken it instead, he tried to anticipate and he buckled the knees.
I think you're right. I think he saw Phoenix coming downhill and said, I don't know if I want to stay in front.
It's intimidating when he's charging right at you. You don't always want to take it. You know you should.
And Coach Eves is over there having a conversation saying, anybody in here that's a Pineview fan can see that that was a charge. As the Boo-Birds have come out and let the Stripes know that they do not approve.
And that is another one of those plays where one official might call it one way, another might call it another way. As Phoenix makes both of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws.
Something kind of interesting off topic and off basketball is I think tonight, I'm looking at some of the shirts, is Mr. PVHS 2023. They do a great fundraiser here. There's some silent auctions out in the hallway. And they do some great things for charity. That Pineview High School Student Council does such a good job. You love to see that.
Absolutely. Community involvement is always huge in high school athletics as Devin Williams scoops it in under the arm and in to get the lead for the Panthers.
And this is why I subscribe that every level the key is keeping your defender in front of you. And so, you know, when you, oh boy.
Travel called again. That's the third travel from Crimson tonight. So many turnovers, Ben, right now between, well, specifically for the Mustangs. They had 2 steals from Schroeder, again, as I mentioned before. 3 now travels. Turnovers are a big key here in the first half.
Another one of our keys to the game. Crimson's done a good job of the last few games of limiting those, but this one, Pineview, they put so much pressure on the ball defensively that it is hard when a team is putting that much pressure and has that much intensity.
Griffin Shepard, again, dropping in too.
And you can see what this Pineview team is capable of, Caden. They can come out and they can make shots. Almost another turnover. But if they can come out and play like this, I think you called it the last time was, can they put a couple of halves together?
Yeah.
Right? I think in the game we did earlier, you were like, look, this is one of the keys for sure is, can they put the third and fourth quarter together? And against Crimson at home, they couldn't. We'll see tonight.
And so far, so good tonight. 27-23 with the lead over the Mustangs. 28 left to play here in the first half. It's Scoop Johnson. Gets it over to Feltz on the elbow. Feltz looking to go down low, and a foul.
But I like that because they're getting their back into the basket and into that paint. And right there you can see we had a good angle at it. He had that forearm in the back. But that's what we need to get going if you're Crimson is like, come on, let's get the ball inside. And if you're Pineview, you're saying, okay, like let's stay the course. Let's do our thing down on the other end. Keep attacking because they have the momentum.
Making the first of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws on the 1-1, still Barban.
And one of the lineups I really love for Crimson is the Sean Feltz, Houston Johnson lineup because
they go big.
It's one thing to guard one of them. It's a whole nother story to try and guard two of those guys.
And right now, a little bit of a smaller lineup out there with the one big guy in Sean Feltz. And the second is good. 25-27, 15 seconds to go here. Panthers in possession. Schroeder swings it across, stolen!
Well, we talked about the Crimson turnovers. They've hurt Pineview as well with just a couple of easy ones. My goodness, Caden.
And another steal to round out the first half of play. Again, turnovers, but we have ourselves a 2-point matchup here, 27-25. The fireworks started early.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow start, and now we've got ourselves a 2-point Pineview lead going into halftime, and I think both of these teams are going to have conversations about taking care of the basketball.
Absolutely. Well, when we come back from this break, it's the Rally Stop halftime show here on the Fan Sports Network. Stick around after this.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Welcome back here. It is our Boulevard home game of the week on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster here and Ben Lindquist on the broadcast with you tonight here from Pineview High School. It's the Pit as the Pineview Dance Company finishing up their routine. And a standing ovation coming on as well. Now again, Ben, as we hop into the Rally Stop halftime show, as you mentioned, that there's a little bit of extracurriculars going on here at Pineview High School tonight. They have the silent auction out in the hallway with a lot of great stuff for people to go and bid on. So again, I like seeing that kind of community involvement, and Pineview definitely taking advantage of that.
Well, and I love to see, it's cool to see both cheerleading squads out here clapping and the crowd. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in the games we forget that this really is just about the students and the community, and what a great environment here in the Pit.
Absolutely. So as we hop into the Rally Stop halftime show, got to thank Rally Stop. We remind you that after cheering on your favorite teams, no better place to refuel than Rally Stop. So go on and grab gas, grab your favorite soda, something to eat.
Load up on a 44-ounce Mountain Dew, grab some nachos and a bag of popcorn. Tell them the fan sent you.
That's absolutely right. So as you mentioned, they're Mr. PVHS now.
Uh-oh.
These guys are all coming out. We got a little dance routine going on tonight?
I'm afraid so.
You say you're afraid so.
I'm afraid so.
And I might tend to agree with you here. Guess we'll see.
I've got a little shout out. I've got a niece out there, Callie Riddle, right front and center. Cheerleader for Pineview. And this could be interesting here. This might be the most entertaining thing
this
that
might
we'll
be more
see
entertaining
tonight.
Than the game.
We've got a 50-50 chance that it's good. 50% from the cheerleaders and probably 50% from the dads. Uh-oh. Oh.
Well, so far, some light choreography.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, not bad.
Okay. You know what? The lesson here, Caden, is that this is what any good dad would do for their daughter, is show up and be willing. Oh, I've got my nephew. I have a nephew out there as well. He's one of the fill-in dads. Preston Christensen is over there, but this is great.
This is great.
Good for these guys to get out there and be willing to, I don't want to say embarrass themselves, Caden, but be willing to at least get out there and
at least have
fun.
the confidence to try. Yep. That's what I like. So
I think Dusty would. I think Dusty's got some moves. Our guy in the production truck.
Maybe.
Yeah, Dusty's got some moves. I'll bet he can go out there and do a couple of the worm and some things like that. The sprinkler.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, why don't we, not that that's not entertaining, but we do have some Nets on Fire updates.
Yeah, we do. An update from Hurricane High School and Snow Canyon at halftime. Snow Canyon is up 27-18 over Hurricane. So another low-scoring game as well. So 27-18 there. Yet to have any updates from Dixie and Desert Hills, though. But again, that game got started a little late.
So those
updates might come in a little later as well.
What do you think? 27-18, Snow Canyon, a little bit of an emotional maybe letdown there, and also a hungry Hurricane team that has 0 wins in region.
Yeah.
And that game's got to be over in Hurricane, isn't it? That is.
Yeah, it's in Hurricane. Yep.
That's right.
It's in Hurricane. Actually, Snow Canyon, they've already had their senior night and everything, so they're on the road the rest of the way.
That's right.
So,
and then I promised some wrestling updates. It looks like Bear River 178, Snow Canyon 139.5, and Hurricane 129 from the first day of Region 10 wrestling.
Hey, that's not so bad. Here in the Rally Stop halftime show, let's recap what's going on here so far. It's 27-25. Pineview with the lead over Crimson. Leading scorer right now, Nash Schroeder. Griffin Shepard with 10 as well. So those are your leaders on one side. On the other side, though, it's kind of been an even spread. Houston Johnson with 6, Sean Feltz with 4, still Barbin 4, Jordan Eaton with 5. 5. A couple of guys with a couple of points thrown in there as well. So not really one standout scorer. If you're Crimson, are you looking for a standout scorer, or are you looking to just continue to find whoever can have the open shot and just let them take it?
Well, I think we're so used to Jordan Eaton having that 17 to 20 points that him with boy, what does he have right now? He's got 5, and you just are used to him scoring more than that. And if it's, you know, if I've learned anything watching him this season, it's that he'll come out and he'll look up in the third or fourth quarter and he'll have 15 to 16, 17 points. So, you know, I think the score tells you part of the story, which is Pineview's come out and played great basketball at home, and they've done a great job of executing some turnovers. I think that's something both teams are going to talk about here as they transition to the third quarter, saying, guys, we have to take care of the basketball. But, you know, I think Crimson, they're just never really out of a game. Even when they lost to Desert Hills, over at Desert Hills, it was like they ended up losing by 13, but it really felt like 20 for most of the game. And so their defense will always keep them close. But I think what's going to be really telling is what you talked about in our first matchup, Caden, which is, can Pineview come out in the third quarter and play the same way that they played in the first half? If they can, we're going to go to the fourth quarter with a dogfight on our hands.
That's right. Now we are going to be hopping in here to the second half of play. Again, Pineview Panthers up on top, 27-25 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Remember, Wilkinson's House of Lighting helping you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Putting 8 minutes on the clock, getting ready, third quarter here. Possession goes to Pineview, and that possession brought to you by Udy & Associates, your local American Family Insurance Agency here in St. George. Canyon Dickinson to get it started. Goes over to Schroeder, swings it to Long. Dickinson back in control. Down low, Long left all alone. Timothy Long.
A similar play that they ran to start the game, that little back screen, come from the opposite side, see if you can catch the defender slipping.
Mick Willis, no good on the 3, but it's an offensive rebound by Scoop.
And there's what we talked about, the best offensive rebounding basketball team in the region gets another one.
Up top with it is Johnson, goes down to Jordan Eaton. Floats it up for 2.
Great execution from both teams right out of the third quarter, and we see a turnover there. Great instincts by Britton. Britton's son, Houston. Oh, boy.
You can call him Britton.
I saw his dad in the parking lot at Lynn's last night with a cartload of Diet Cokes.
Oh.
He had them hanging over the shopping
I'm going to the Johnson house.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how one guy can drink that much Diet Coke, but
well, he doesn't do it all at once.
When you're a basketball dad, I think it's pretty stressful. You got to have something to drink.
Well, another turnover here. Schroeder steps on the line, trying to get out of the trap.
So 2 quick turnovers.
Yeah.
Coach Eves is over there. Guys, we just talked about this. Come on. And Crimson's like, hey, look, this is what we talked about, making them turn the ball over, not us.
Houston Johnson getting it down low to Eaton. Eaton off the glass, no good. Rebound Schroeder. Schroeder bringing it the other direction. Slowing it down for the Panthers. Dickinson drives in, floats it up. Off the back of the rim, no good. It's Mick Willis now. On the other side, gets it low to Houston Johnson, backs up on Long, kicks back out, overthrows it, and Schroeder is going to pick it up in the corner. Dickinson up top. Long, all the way to the basket. Timothy Long, beautiful move.
Great move. He gives him the old looky-loo, and it looked like he thought about, just for a second, throwing it down.
That honestly might even be a contender for our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game.
I like it.
Just for the hesitation, the give and go, you know? And on the other side is Griffin Shepard. Finger rolls it in for 2. And rolling right now is this Pineview Panther offense.
And Caden, it starts with the turnovers. 2 quick ones by Pineview. Looks like they're going to be rattled, and then they come back and get those 2 back over, and both of them, there are capitalizations for Pineview there quick transition buckets.
It's a full timeout. We'll take a quick one ourselves, 30 seconds, and we'll be back after this.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Back at it here, coming out of the Cache Valley Bank timeout. Cache Valley Bank Mountains await. It's 33-27. Panthers, we were talking about it kind of during the break right there, just capitalizing off turnovers.
Yeah, 2 quick turnovers for both sides after we said, look, you got to imagine that in those locker room, they're in there saying, take care of the basketball. And right now, even though Pineview had those 2 quick ones, the momentum is all on the Panther side.
Absolutely, is Scoop in control of it. Gets it off to McWillis. McWillis in the corner to Houston. Houston picked up by Shepard. Back to McWillis, who goes baseline. Scoop resets here for the Mustangs.
You can see Jordan's over here saying, Scoop, either have Drake run off of me on a screen or bring the ball over and let me post this guy up. So you got to get it to him quick. See Caden right there?
Yeah, and
when that rotation happens and he comes over, you've got to already, as a guy with the ball in your hands, be setting it up with a ball fake and then looking inside because they rotate so quickly. And you can see probably Jordan's over there telling him the same thing is, guys, get me the ball on the block. I will score.
Getting the ball down low is Eaton. And he goes off the glass, gets the and one call.
And kind of what I was talking about.
Right on cue, huh?
He's saying, guys, he's making me look like I know what I'm talking about. Get me anywhere close to that block, and I have the advantage.
Long picks up his 3rd foul. Wouldn't be surprised to see Camden Smith coming off the bench here shortly. But Long has been playing so well this game as well. I mean, the and one goes in from Jordan Eaton.
And Jordan gets to double figures there with 10 points now as Pineview almost turns the ball over. Nash picks it up in the corner, which is kind of dead man's corner.
Crimson shifted into the zone defense in the corner, no good. Tipped and rebounded. Drake Carroll rebounds it, but throws it right to Shepard, who gets his own and one. 3-point play here for the Panthers.
And give Pineview a lot of credit. When Crimson has come down and steadied the ship, Pineview's come down and done something impressive. And that puts 14 with a chance to get to 15 for Griffin Shepard.
And he does.
And Nash Schroeder with 11. So these 2 guys, we talked about the magic number being 16 or 17 for each of them. And they're well on their way, Caden.
Nearly another turnover there. Ball hits the ground.
And this is what great move there by Houston.
Good.
You've got to notice that you've got Griffin Shepard, who looks to be about 6'2", and you're 6'6". But I wish we could. Do we have replay on this? We got replayed it? I probably missed it. I should have said it earlier. But if you look there, Drake comes in from the weak side. Houston's posting up, and all Drake's doing is bringing his guy into the play. You got to keep spacing. It's the thing that these young guys don't understand is that just because you think you're open, you don't need to bring your defender into the play.
Blocked by Scoop, and it's picked up by Dickinson. He goes up strong with it.
Good
Tips
hustle there.
And rebounded Johnson. Gets it in the corner to Scoop. Scoop goes baseline. Kicked over. Drake Carroll for 2.
It's a great pass, and it's a good finish by Drake Carroll there. And Pineview is looking now to be up 2, but Crimson's come out of the made basket and thrown a little press up.
Yeah, getting some double teams in there again on this zone defense.
Refs are letting him play right now too, Caden.
And I kind of like to see that. I like it when they let him play on a little bit. Shepard gets it up at the foul line. It's now Schroeder. Schroeder taking the ball over to the right side. Down low, Long. Now Shepard tries to go up with it. He's fouled by McWillis.
he'll have a chance to put the Panthers up by 4 here. I'm getting a report here from our Region 10 hotline that Owen Mackey is not playing tonight. It looks like maybe a rest for that ankle.
Yeah, he did kind of tweak the ankle the other night.
Oh, yeah, they're late in the game. Yeah, that's right.
And they decided, hey, you know what? Let's just sit him. So,
yeah, which explains that score a little bit more. Not only do we provide in-depth game analysis, but we also have got our ear to the ground on the rumor wire.
The off-court, what's going on, why aren't they playing, right?
Yep. What did they have for lunch? What's their pregame routine?
How many hours did they sleep last night? We know all that kind of stuff.
Kate
right?
and I, of course, stick to the peanut butter and honey and grapes for our pregame meal.
Driving in, Scoop Johnson goes up with it. Catches the rim and in.
This is, I'd love to break this down and show this for people. It's when you see your defender turn or you see them adjust and you attack that high foot, you know, all Scoop waited for there was for the guy guarding Jordan to turn.
Now, on this same play happened last time, Kenyon Dickinson picked up the block. He held his ground. This time, Phoenix McWillis picking up the charge.
And that's a play where it's more 1-on-2 or 3. And he's so athletic. I think, you know, kind of coming to a hesitation and trying to go around as opposed to leaving your feet. He's the most athletic guy on the floor, I believe.
Yeah, he's definitely got that touch. In the corner, driving in is Nash Schroeder. Nowhere to go, kicks it out to Watkins. Up top is Shepard now, back to Schroeder. Pineview resets. Watkins looking to get down low to Camden Smith. Now over to Shepard. Shepard goes strong. Bounces off the back of the rim. Catches it in for 2.
Great interior passing by the Panthers there as they just wait for the guy cutting and wait for the open space. And Phoenix, yeah, great contest there, but with 2 fouls, not much you can do.
McWillis step back. No good. And a foul.
He has a really good step back, and one of those plays that, you know, when you're able to kind of have that good step back, it puts the defender under their heels, and then when they lunge at you to try and close out hard, all it takes is a little bit of contact to make something happen.
And the first is good from McWillis on the Fabius Freddy's free throws. Second is good. Coming into the game now, Trevor Taylor.
I mean, this is exactly what you hope for, Caden. It's a 1-point game as we see Crimson out here in the press. 2:02 left in the third quarter. Pineview seems content with just working the ball around, getting the right shot. As Griffin Shepard continues his blitz in the second half and first half combined, as he's nearing 20 points with an explosive third quarter.
And he actually broke 20 points with that one. Okay. He's at 21 now.
21. Well, I stand corrected. He has exceeded 20 points. And I'll tell you what, when you have it cooking like this, it might be one of those nights you try and get 30.
Yeah, might as well, right?
I mean, 21 through 3 quarters against a Pineview team is not, or against a Crimson team is not something you see a lot.
Sean Feltz catching the rim, bounces around about 6 times and drops.
And it looks like as we go to the Nets on Fire scoreboard, 36-28 Dixie over Desert Hills. Oh, wow.
Off the glass, no good.
That Rebound. Looked like the easiest one he's had all night.
And throwing it out of bounds. Turnovers. These tend to be the keys here.
And Scoop just trying to be a little bit too fancy there. Make the easy play, and that's the thing is, from a point guard standpoint, you have to know there are times when you can throw that. I've thrown plenty of around the back passes in my day as well, but sometimes when you're already having a team night where you're struggling from turnovers, you've got to be the guy that steadies the ship.
Blocked. Going the other way with it now, Mustangs. Jordan Eaton pulls the three. No good. Feltz goes over the back for the rebound. They're going to get him.
And Caden, we're going to see near bonus here by the end of the third quarter for Crimson with 6 fouls, Pineview with 4.
Yep, and that's 2 on Feltz. Inbounding Watkins. Schroeder back to Watkins, trying to break down that full court pressure. Griffin Shepard gets it stripped away. And Shepard goes down hard. Taylor on the other end rolls it in. And now Crimson with the lead.
And I think Trevor Taylor, our early candidate for the Jersey Mike's sub of the game, as I am already thinking about getting it Mike's way tonight after the game. The onion, the sauce. The Crimson has turned up the defensive pressure.
Stolen away again. Scoop Johnson going strong and 1. And again, basketball is such a game of momentum. The start of this half, the momentum all with Pineview. Now this momentum all with Crimson. Crimson putting up 20 points in this third quarter. And also, remember, they didn't start putting up points until 2 minutes had already run off the clock.
Well, and with that style of press, there's no dribbling up the court, in the middle of the court, you're going to have multiple defenders attacking you. As Scoop misses that front end, or actually the and 1 there. But with 50 seconds left, it was like, okay, all right, we're going to get to the third quarter. And Pineview is starting to come a little bit unraveled, as that's the right call.
Foul
there
from Jay Sweeten, yeah.
You live with that, but guess what? That's the 7th team foul. Now Pineview will be shooting for the entire fourth quarter, including this final possession for Pineview.
So going to the line is Canyon Dickinson. Canyon Dickinson with just 1 basket tonight. He makes the first.
Kind of almost a tale of 2 sides of this third quarter, where Pineview came out early, took the momentum, and just in a matter of moments, Crimson has recaptured it and taken a 2-point lead with a chance for it to only slip 1 more to 1 going into the fourth quarter. Maybe a chance of a desperation play here. Who knows?
Canyon Dickinson back in the line for the fabulous Freddy's free throws. And drops in the second one. 1-point game here, 45-44 on the Wilkinson's house lighting scoreboard. Coming across the line now, it's Jay Sweeten taking control of things. With 3 seconds on the clock, he pulls the corner 3. That's Scoop Johnson.
And Coach Eves is not happy about that, wondering how, with just 12 seconds left in the third quarter, you can leave someone that wide open.
It's 48-44. The Mustangs take control back from the Panthers. We'll take a 45-second break. More when we return here on the Fan Sports Network.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome back in. 8 minutes left to play here as we hop into the fourth quarter. 48-44, Crimson up. Cheerleaders throwing out little mini basketballs. Crowd getting into it. The band's here tonight. And Crimson, a 23-point third quarter. Pineview's still putting up 17, though. You can't fault them for that either.
No, and what was a kind of a defensive first half has turned into the Holbrook, and I love this right here, right? You run the guy off the bottom, you get Jordan isolated on the block in the paint, and you let him attack. You take that shot every time.
Yeah. And he'll make that in a pretty high percentage, so you'll let him do that all night long. Into the corner.
Yeah, Jay Sweeten's come on the floor here, a little bit the energy guy to see if he can maybe step up the intensity for Crimson.
Griffin Shepard pulls the U First Credit Union three-pointer. He's got himself a game of 24 right now.
Yeah, and showing no signs of slowing down. My guess is he's going to get 30 tonight.
He's pushing for that Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert, trying to get 55. At halftime, we didn't know if it was going to be there, but at this point, we're there. We're gonna go and get it.
That's gonna happen.
Have to reach 55. If that happens, you get 5 ounces free at Yogurtland after the game. Just go ask for the Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. We're gonna be looking for that when we see it tick over to 55 from either one of these teams or any team in Region 10 tonight. Down low with it. Sweeten. Quick passing by the Mustangs and hammering down to Sean Feltz.
We're talking about the Holbrook Asphalt big-time dessert. We got our dunk of the game.
That's right. And you know what that means? That means 1 hour. Again, we like to partner with people who are willing to give back. This one is from House of Jump for the dunk of the game. All you have to do now is text the word dunk to this number, 833-644-2423. You get an hour of free jump time at House of Jump. That's 833-644-2423. So Weston Watkins hits the line. And he makes the first end of the 1-1.
And I believe, Caden, I predicted a Sean Phelps dunk in our pregame, so I think you said that was one to watch. I mean, at least got something right tonight.
Yeah, you did. You did.
But great interior passing, sharing the ball, finding the guy on the baseline. All it takes is a little bit of patience to find a teammate as we almost see another turnover.
Nearly turning it over.
Goodness.
And it is going to be an offensive foul called.
Okay, well,
Jordan Eaton.
It looked like 3 turnovers. Oh boy, and we have a microscopic basketball on the court.
We got one of the whether this is a teacher or somebody was able to come over and pick it up.
He's looking over the student section saying, "Come on."
Yeah, do better. Do better,
yep,
student
do
section.
better.
The Mustangs with a 1-point lead, 50-49. Getting closer and closer to our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game. Bose Auto Parts.
We have our playmaker play. Now we need our crucial part of the game, and with just under 7 in the fourth, Caden, I think it's going to be happening
We're
soon.
getting close. We're getting close. This zone defense, scoop on the steal, bounces off a foot. Who's it off of? And it's going to go to the Mustangs.
Yeah,
I want to see if we can catch a replay.
See if we can
see who that was off of. We might have missed it. It might have been too long ago, but yeah, probably not going to catch that. Inbound, Carroll goes up to Taylor. Driving in is Mick Willis. He'll push it up. No good. Rebound is long. And now Dickinson taking it the other way. Mick Willis just been a little off tonight. Hasn't gotten much to go down for him. And normally he's kind of the number 2 scorer at times, so.
He's had a couple good looks.
Shepard, 14-footer, no good. Rebounded by Scoop Johnson. Scoop takes it all the way to the other side. Feltz from the elbow. Back the rim, no good. Rebound, Schroeder.
There's never been a shot that I've seen from him that he doesn't like. He has a quick fire, and he's able to square up and pick the rim up. And when you have that size advantage, I don't blame you.
Timeout to Pineview. Again, Cache Valley Bank timeout. We'll take a quick one ourselves, 30 seconds. More from Pineview High School and return on the Fan Sports Network.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Well, one of our Nets on Fire updates from the Utah Jazz. They get the win tonight. Utah Jazz beat Toronto Raptors 122-116. And how about Lauri Markkanen being named an all-star starter for the Jazz as well? He got bumped up.
So who would have been, who was out?
He took the place of Zion Williamson.
Oh, that's right. I'm always caught off guard when I think about New Orleans being in the Western Conference. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Clearly, I don't know the map of the United States well enough.
I've said if the league extends to 32 teams and they put one in Vegas and Seattle, I feel like either Memphis or New Orleans, one of those guys has to go east. So
or Minnesota.
Or Minnesota, yeah. Those guys seem way too far east to be in the West, but that's how it goes. Up top with it, Devin Williams swinging it across. In the corner, Dickinson pulls the three. Just short, no good, and rebound Feltz.
And I think out of that timeout, I'd probably try and get it to somebody like Griffin Shepard. As we also see another turnover. By my account, at this point, we're nearing 20 turnovers.
Yeah, we've got to be getting pretty close.
When you combine charges, travels.
Passes out of bounds, as you mentioned.
Oh my gosh.
We got ourselves a whistle here. It's a foul on the ground.
Takedown. Speaking of wrestling going on for Region 10 this weekend, we have a 2-point takedown as Phoenix McWillis gets pummeled to the floor. But what I really love there is that weak side, okay? Phoenix dribbles baseline, jump stops, and then you have a weak side basket cut from Drake Carroll, who comes up short, but Phoenix goes in, gets the rebound, and here he is at the foul line. And this is something to watch. This is the 9th team foul for Crimson and the 7th for Pineview. So we're going to have bonus the rest of the way.
That's right. That's right. Nat Schroeder picks up the missed foul shot, and the Panthers will reset.
You cannot leave him open. They got away with one there.
And luckily they got Feltz down low picking up those rebounds. No one's going to out-rebound Feltz tonight, I can tell you that. It's Mick Willis now. Takes it back up top. Scoop. Scoop will slow it down here with the 2-point lead, 51-49. It's now Feltz.
And I like this duck in here. Clear out the side. Basket cut again.
And Taylor, he's been really good under the basket.
Got to be 8 for him, maybe?
He's up to 6.
He's up to 6. Okay.
Into the corner. Nash Schroeder, 3. You First Credit Union three-pointer. Nash Schroeder, and now he's up to 14.
Well, those two have combined for 38. Wait, no? Yeah, 38 points. And we said they both have to have 17, so on average, they're both there. And
another turnover.
That's got to be a foul. I mean, he has got his whole arm around him. But you know what? They're letting them play.
They're letting them play on. Instead, the ball gets thrown out of bounds, and it will be Pineview basketball.
I mean, we do have wrestling going on this weekend, Cadence, just not...
We didn't think it was going to be at Pineview High School, huh? We thought it was over at Stowe Canyon High School. A 3 again from Schroeder, no good. Offensive board by Griffin Shepard. Flicks it over the head to Schroeder, and they'll slow it back down again and look for the right shot.
And this zone by Crimson has created some issues.
Devin Williams, no good. Overshot it.
Created some issues, but it's also created some opportunities for Pineview, and they've just missed. And I think, you know, usually as a coach, you live with those. But if 1 or 2 of those goes out, Coach Fairborn probably has to get out of that zone. But when they don't miss, it looks good.
Up top with it is Mick Willis. Going with it, Scoop, not there, foul. And I like what he's doing. You know, he streaks towards the middle of the paint, gets that pass, spins towards the basket, goes up with it, gets fouled as Jordan Eaton is set to check in, and Scoop Johnson heads to the line.
And I love the adjustment in the second half with this hedge cut from the weak side where they clear it out into the corner, they overload a side, and then it's just basically a C screen on the weak side, and it's created some easy buckets. A great adjustment there by Crimson. It's got them more opportunities inside the paint as Drake Carroll has a seat here. Jordan Eaton comes in, and Drake put in some good minutes there. But the passing has been the difference. They've gotten baskets. I don't know if they've shot other than the one that Scoot made. And Jordan, I'm sorry, not Jordan, but Phoenix shot in the corner. They've only shot 2 threes in the second half. Inside what we talked about, right?
Yeah. Well, I believe that we can officially say we're at our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game here, and that goes for both teams. 2-point lead for the Mustangs. Devin Williams drives in and hands off to Dickinson. Again, this zone defense from the Mustangs has been a bit of an Achilles heel right now for the Panthers.
And you can see Coach Fairborn saying there, look, we don't want to foul that far from the basket. Foul them when they're going to the basket, and you're at a disadvantage to save up an easy one, but not 25, 30 feet from the court or from the hoop.
At the line is Nash Schroeder.
And also,
making the first.
Probably not the guy you want to foul as he gets to 15 with a chance to get to 16. These guys must have heard us talking. They're going to go way over what we talked about that they needed, and maybe we were wrong. Maybe they don't need a third guy. They just need some solid team play, and they just need to go crazy and have 20 each.
Pineview is yet to break that lead here in the fourth quarter from the Mustangs, just keeping it within that 1-point game, 54-53. Stolen away, Kenyon Dickinson, and he'll toss it in the corner. It's Nash Schroeder for 3.
And
no foul called.
Maybe, if we can see that on the replay, maybe
I thought a foul should have been called there as Phoenix kind of took him out. Let's see if we catch it. Yeah, that's definitely a foul call. That did not.
Great job on the production truck there.
Say a gentle push and a mild arc on the cow high goal. It's home.
Timeout taken from the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Panthers take the lead. We'll keep it right here, locked in with 2:07 left to go as we hit into the Cache Valley Bank timeout. Again, Mustangs losing the lead for the first time here in the fourth quarter. They played a solid 6 minutes with that lead. There's a 1-point game at times. Here we go, 2 points.
And it's funny how, you could just feel it, right? The step back, you could see that he got his elbow underneath it, and the rotation on the ball looked great. He looked in rhythm, and it's funny, you can just kind of see and feel the way the game's going, that a shot like that is destined to go in after they missed some easy threes from that zone defense of Crimson's. And the crowd is coming along too. The student sections finally are calling each other out and asking for some spirit to be recognized.
Scoop Johnson.
Oh, I like this. That's when you take it baseline and the whole weak side is rotating.
Down low. Jordan Eaton goes up with it. Not there. Rebound. Williams off the bench. Good minutes from Devin Williams and getting a good rebound in a crucial part of the game here. Down low with it, Shepard. He goes up strong against McWillis. Pushes off, no good. And again, the officials just kind of letting him play on it with previous contact.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they haven't let him play too much. It's 10-8, so.
Yeah. But you can't call a foul on everything. That's a tough call to make. But with that, Jordan Eaton fouls out of this game. Your leading scorer tonight for the Mustangs, and with only 11 points, and he fouls out.
And I don't think he just hard to know with 117, 2-point game. Do you get the size of Sean Felton? And it looks like he's going to have Sean come down here.
Yeah, with 1:12 left to go. Tipped away.
Oh, my.
Stolen. Scoop Johnson, he gets fouled by Canyon Dickinson.
Hey, give Scoop a lot of credit. His on ball and that trapping defense in the center of the court has been really difficult. And he's created some turnovers. As much as he's given it away, he's at least balanced it out with some steals of his own.
Now Canyon Dickinson also fouls out of this game with 5 fouls. And again, I don't think anyone's realized. There we go. Now they got it.
I was looking at the same thing you were going. Okay, the ref's about to hand him the ball, but Canyon is fouled out. I think he was looking like, oh, he was smiling when he came off the court, like maybe I almost had him.
First end is good.
And after missing the prior one, you like to see that. Caden, we could have, with just over a minute, a tie ball game at 56-56. Both teams will be in the double bonus.
And it's good. Tied ball game as a timeout's taken. And a reminder to our fans here, the Big Score dessert has been hit. Head on over to Yogurtland and get 5 ounces free from Holbrook Asphalt after the game. 30-second break. When we return the last minute from Pineview, it's the Pit here on the Fan Sports Network.
Utah is growing, and we're growing too. What started on the U of U campus has grown to over 110,000 members with 20 locations, and we're ready to meet even more of you. More than a campus or a branch, we are Utah's teachers, businesses, and families. For over 65 years, we've been part of your community, and while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. University Credit Union is now You First Credit Union. See why it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First.
Tied ball game, 56 apiece, minute 7 left to play here from Pineview High School.
Well, I've got a question for you, Caden.
Sure.
If you're Pineview, do you get the last shot at this point?
You know, again, with no shot clock right now, a minute left to play, you realistically could try that. The problem, I would say, is the backcourt has seen a lot of turnovers. And if you try to do that as Shepard goes up strong, no good. And it's an offensive board by Devin Williams, and he kicks it out to Schroeder, and they will reset. Wow. I say at this point, go for the last shot.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what it looks like.
Schroeder takes it all the way in and gets fouled. Nick Willis on the foul. And I believe that's his 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they actually give it to Scoop. Scoop on the reach.
Okay. I thought, considering the way they've called it, I didn't think it was a foul on Phoenix, considering how they've called it.
Yeah, because again, it was body contact with Phoenix. He was kind of straight up.
But maybe it was that hip check on the drive.
Yeah.
Okay. But now it looks like he's subbed, Coach Fairborn has subbed some offense for defense here as he's turned in here another ball handler, Drake Carroll.
Both free throws made by Nash Schroeder. He hits that 20-point mark. 58-56, 35 left to play. And Scoop driving in on long. Triple team, kick out, 3 still, Barb not there. Rebound Drake Carroll, offensive board. It goes to Johnson. Johnson kicks out to Scoop. Scoop drives, goes up with it, not there either.
Oh my goodness.
Another offensive board. And a foul is called on the baseline.
I'll tell you what, you got to give it to Drake Carroll. Too critical. Maybe he could be our crucial part of the game. Too critical offensive rebounds from Drake Carroll right there. Maybe the smallest guy on the court.
And he'll find himself
smallest.
He'll find himself at the line shooting 2 in the double bonus. Misses the first.
And it looks like Coach Fairborn will do some subbing and some size here in the event that this goes off. Of course, if he makes this, you're going to want to get a quick foul. This is where being in the double bonus hurts because he's going to get no 1-and-1. He'll get 2.
Gets it. It's a 1-point game.
Okay. So I can think of a couple of guys. I don't want to foul Caden. I don't want to foul Griffin Shepard. I don't want to foul Nash, Schroeder. This is going to come down to free throws.
It really will, yeah. They're going to try to inbound to Schroeder or Shepard.
And you can do this one of two ways. You can put a guy like Sean Feltz on ball and try and get some disruption there, or you can pull whoever's taking it out's defender and make sure that you take it away from a guy like Nash or Griffin. So it'll be really interesting to see how Coach Fairborn plays this, because you've got that ability and that versatility when you have someone the size of Sean Feltz.
Again, Wilkinson's house lighting scoreboard, it's 58-57. Quick update brought to you by Nets on Fire. It's 45-35 with Snow Canyon up right now with just over 2 minutes left in that game. Looks like Snow Canyon could hold on to win.
It looks like we're going to get one of the best games of the year. Going to be hard to beat that overtime thriller from Dixie and Snow Canyon, but this is a close runner-up.
But both in the same week.
Tell you what.
That's what you like to see this late in region play. It goes to Watkins, back to Shepard with 14 seconds left on the clock. I'm surprised they're not fouling right now. But they.
I've got no idea what's going on.
A timeout. And that's a smart timeout because it negates the 10-second backcourt call. And now that will also reset with 9 seconds left to play. You just have to dribble it out.
Yeah, heads up play there from the coaching staff of calling the timeout. I think he might have been stunned just for a second going, why aren't they fouling with 16.5 seconds left? But I don't know, maybe they just, some miscommunication. It's just so hard to know.
So what do you do right now if you are Pineview, you're in control of the ball, you don't need to take that shot? What do you think?
And I could see the assistants Ben Moore and Screech down there on the sideline asking for confirmation that it would reset that 10 seconds. And it's a smart move. You just want to make sure, right?
You want to double check. And it should. So, yeah, with 9.3 left to play here, Panthers with the 1-point lead. And again,
critical seconds when you think about almost 7 seconds running off the clock. And a couple of guys other than Nash and Griffin had the ball, Caden. That was the opportunity to go and get a quick foul. But here's the bottom line. Even if they make both free throws, it's still going to be a 3-point game. You're going to have a chance to tie.
Right. You want to get into the hands of your hottest shooter. It looks like they're going to try to get it into Schroeder, and they will. Schroeder will immediately get fouled by Scoop Johnson. He will head to the line to shoot two. Maybe extend this lead to where the best you can do is tie it up.
I just feel like when you have somebody, you got to take the guy off the ball in that situation and make sure that this guy doesn't get the ball because he's a great free throw shooter. But like we said, the probability is he's going to make this. And so now it comes down to, with one timeout, do you let him play or do you try and take advantage in transition and get a three-pointer? And it looks like Coach Eves will say, whatever you do, don't foul him on a three-pointer.
Yeah.
Make him catch the ball going away from their hoop.
Again, we will keep it right here on this Cache Valley Bank timeout. It is 60-57. We got ourselves a very good one over here.
And Nash says to Griffin, look, you got 24. Let me see if I can catch you. He comes in with 22. And think about this, Caden. Those two have combined for 46 of Pineview's 60 points.
Right.
Who needs the third guy when you've got great bench support, you got great team defense, and you got two guys that can drop 46?
Well, and then again, you know, as you mentioned, bench support. I know Crimson's trailing, but again, you have 12 from Scoop, 11 from Jordan Eaton, 3 from Drake Carroll off the bench, still Barbin with 4, McWillis with 5, off the bench, Sean Feltz with 8, off the bench, Trevor Taylor with 6, and Houston Johnson with 8.
8 guys.
That's really good scoring from Crimson.
Well,
now again,
I would anticipate one of two things. One is a hard drive at a shooter and try a little handoff, maybe a flare cut, where they dribble to a side and they get guy coming off the kind of the reverse Iverson cut. Or they'll run a guy off the baseline. It'll just be hard to see here what happens.
Drake Carroll takes the inbound. It goes to Scoop, who nearly loses it. He puts up the shot and airballs everything. Pineview will get the win. the Panthers hold off the Mustangs for what could be their biggest win of the season, 60-56.
Wow. Caden, I know Pineview played great, but I look up at the score, and even I'm surprised. It looked like Crimson had regained the momentum, but ultimately Pineview hit the big shots, none bigger than the Nash Schroeder 3 step back that seemed to break the Mustangs.
Oh, and when we hop into the Johnson Pediatrics Dentistry post-game show, I guarantee you that specific play is going to be talked about when we get into our Appliance Wholesale Plus Playmaker play of the game. But stick around with us here on the Fan Sports Network. We're going to take a break and hop into the post-game show when we return. Stick around with us. From Pineview High School, the Panthers get the win 60-57.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Still. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, Pineview getting the win 60-57, and we welcome you back in. It's our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. See why so many parents choose Johnson's for their kids' dental needs. Call for that new patient special, 656-0511. All right, Ben, this game, Pineview, gotta give a lot of credit to Schroeder and Shepard. Their 2 main scorers really put on some teamwork there. Again, 22 and 24 apiece. And when you scored 46
of 60.
46 of 60.
And you know what's interesting is, like, you look at the box score, and those 2 are going to be the ones that really stand out. But it's another thing for the supporting cast to just understand their role. You got 2 guys that are hot, right? But the other guys did the little things. They got them open. They moved the ball around. They were patient. And this is a great win for Pineview. Maybe a little bit of a defining win for their season, that they can beat just about anybody. And for Crimson, you're left scratching your head and disappointed in maybe what could have been on a Friday night for them to secure some better RPI points and to make sure that they've got a good seed going into the state tournament. This one will sting in a couple of different ways. But a great atmosphere tonight, a great job by Pineview, and just great performances by those 2 players. Anytime somebody gets 46 of 60 It's just hats off to them, and they played great, Caden.
They did, and Pineview has turned around their season in the last half or so of region play.
Yeah, really good point.
To just become a team that you can tell that they have that camaraderie, they communicate, and they run really well thought out plays. They just look like they're playing good team basketball right now. Because again, I wouldn't say that Pineview is necessarily the better team than Crimson in this situation, talent-wise. Crimson has some great talent, but Pineview finds a way to exploit the little chinks in the armor, right?
And we don't mean that with any disrespect.
Not at all. Not at all.
You're just simply saying from a personnel standpoint, Crimson has the better team, the better athleticism, the better size. And for Pineview, they seem to just continue to fight. And we talked about it in the first game. Will they come out and play 4 quarters?
Right.
And it looked like we were gonna be proved right again that third quarter has been so difficult for them. They weathered the storm, went back and forth. And the fourth quarter, they really buckled down and they finished the game. So Coach Eves has got to be thrilled, and he's got to be in there telling the guys, this is what we're capable of. This is how we can play. And maybe Nash and Griffin can't get 46 combined points every night, but those two are certainly capable of 17, 18 to 20 on any given night.
Absolutely. Quick score update as well. That Dixie and Desert Hills game getting closer to reaching an end here. 45 seconds left, and Dixie's up 71-50. So Dixie will get another win on the season, especially after that loss to Snow Canyon. They definitely wanted to get back into that win column. So there's that as well. Well, Ben, as we head into the post-game show here, let's start handing out some of our awards from tonight's ball game. Let's start things off with our Appliance Wholesaler Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. And I said I'd bring this back up. You already mentioned it earlier. That Nash Schroeder step back 3 gave Pineview the lead. They continue to hold on to that lead. And really, that was the defining moment in the transition into Pineview's victory here tonight.
It really was. Great execution, great individual move, right? Like sometimes you need the play to a guy to screen or a guy to roll. In that one, he just did it himself with a great individual athletic performance on that step back 3.
Yep, and again, Schroeder finishing tonight with 22 points. And really putting on a show there late in the fourth quarter. He had 11. So congrats to him on that performance, which does lead us into, again, a performance. Let's head into our Jersey Mike's sub of the game. Again, who's the best performance off the bench?
I think even though it comes from the losing side, it was Trevor Taylor. I know Drake Carroll had some great rebounds there down the stretch.
Sean Feltz had his moments as well.
Sean Feltz had a few moments. I think Trevor Taylor, one of his better varsity performances of the season, with just getting a couple layups here and there. Neither of these teams really have huge contributions from the bench in terms of scoring, but I think that's a clear one for Crimson. What I'm curious about, so that we got our Jersey Mike's sub of the game.
I like it.
I'm looking down at my clock saying, well, can I slip over there before 9 o'clock on a Friday night and grab my sub? Maybe. But what I'm curious about, Caden, is the Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game, because we saw a lot of blocks tonight.
Here's the thing. We saw a lot of blocks. We saw a lot of steals. A little bit of everything.
That's the nice way of saying also a lot of turnovers.
A lot of turnovers. And there were a few moments that really stick out to me. And number one was there was a point where Crimson was really starting to pull away with it. And it was right at the end of the first half. 2 quick turnovers from Nash Schroeder. Stole it right up at the half-court line. Both of them, defense leading to offense.
Yeah, they got those. You're right.
It was a quick 4-point swing for the Panthers that brought them right back into it. So, again, I like it when defense leads to offense. To me, those are some of your best defensive plays. And that's where my mind immediately goes to. Yes, there were some flashy blocks, and don't get me wrong, those are a lot of fun. But when defense leads to offense, and especially in crucial parts of the game, like when you're going into halftime, you want that momentum. Nash Schroeder gave them that momentum off of a couple of good steals.
Yeah, I like it. And I think you're right. That was a turning point in the game. Crucial, absolutely. As crucial as the three, probably not.
Yeah.
But certainly those two steals, because it looked like Crimson was going to kind of regain all of the momentum, and that just kind of brought it to a halt.
Yeah. By the way, final score update, 73-51 Dixie with the win over Desert Hills tonight. So let's also head on over now. We talked about our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game. Reminder that Morgan Pest Control is defending your home against pests, bugs, rodents in Southern Utah for over 60 years. Now, let's talk about our Hearst Ace Hardware player of the game. This one, I lean towards, you have Schroeder and Shepard, who both put on huge performances tonight. I feel like we got to pick one of them. Who had the better performance?
I think from start to finish, it was Griffin Shepard. But I think in terms of closing the game out, it was Nash Schroeder. I might ask if maybe you'd let us get away with giving a co on this one tonight.
All right.
Because those two were both so dynamic, so critical at getting the baskets they needed. Griffin gets them throughout the game. Nash turns it on in the second half and gets that critical step back three and the knockdown free throws. I think we give it to both of them there.
I like it. I am 100% on board with that. We'll do like they did in the 93 All-Star game. Give it to two guys.
That's right.
Give it to two guys. All right, well, that wraps it up here from Pineview High School, where the Panthers get the win 60-57 over the Mustangs. Thank you for joining us on our Boulevard Home Game of the Week tonight. We appreciate you stopping by with us. More basketball to come next week on Wednesday from Region 10. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Burns Arena, Utah Tech taking on Tarleton State, 7 o'clock. You can tune into that on the Fan Sports Network, on the radio, 99.5 or 95.3 in St. George, 93.1 in Cedar City. We got Cody running things.
Great replays here as I get to watch some of this.
Thank Dusty as well for setting us up and having a good night here with Ben and myself here, Caden. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on the Fan Sports Network.